When you think about care, what comes to mind? Probably things like compassion, safety, protecting people who need it most. But what if I told you that the very buildings designed for that care have a massive, hidden dark side, an environmental impact that's pretty shocking? That's what we're digging into today, the surprising carbon footprint of social care.
Yeah, it sounds completely backwards, right? A total paradox. The whole point of social care is to make people healthier and improve their lives. But here's the kicker. The health and social care sector, it's actually a huge global polluter. And that forces us to ask a really tough question.
Okay, get ready for this number. 2.8 million tons. That's the estimated carbon footprint every single year just from residential care homes in the UK. I mean, that is a staggering figure, way bigger than what official estimates have been telling us. It really drives home just how much energy these places use, running 24/7, 365 days a year.
And this is where it gets really ironic. The World Health Organization itself says climate change is the single greatest health threat of our century. And yet, the healthcare sector, and yep, that includes social care, is responsible for something like 4 to 5% of all global greenhouse gas emissions. So, in the process of trying to solve our health problems, the sector is actually feeding into the biggest health threat we all face. Wow.
All right, so if we're going to tackle this, we got to understand where all these emissions actually come from. And lucky for us, there's a pretty simple framework that helps break it all down.
It all comes down to these three scopes. Let's make it simple. Think about your own home, okay? Scope 1, that's the direct stuff, like the gas you burn in your furnace for heat. Easy. Scope 2 is the electricity you buy from the power company. Still pretty straightforward. But Scope 3, now that's the big one. That's everything else. The food you buy, the medicines, the cleaning supplies, the waste you throw out, the carbon footprint of the entire supply chain. So what happens when we use this framework on a real care provider? Well, check this out. This is from a study in Australia, and the results are kind of mind-blowing. Look at that huge chunk of the pie chart, 57%. That's not from heating, it's not from the lights. It's Scope 3. It's the supply chain. And folks, that is a total game changer. It means we've been looking in the wrong places. We have to look way beyond just the building.
And just to give you a sense of how big that is, let's zoom in on just one thing from that supply chain: food. Just the food, buying it, cooking it, managing the waste, can be more than 15% of a care home's total emissions. Get this, that's more than all the gas and oil they burn on site put together. Just the food. Okay, so if we know what the problem is, why aren't we just fixing it? Well, it's not that simple. The roadblocks here aren't just about technology. They're about money. And maybe more importantly, they're about people, especially when you're caring for the most vulnerable among us.
This quote from a care home manager, it just hits the nail on the head. For an elderly resident, being warm isn't just about the temperature on the wall. It's a feeling. It's psychological. It's about seeing something familiar and comforting like a fire. So you can go and install the most high-tech, efficient heat pump, but if the resident doesn't feel that comfort, what are they going to do? They're going to plug in a little space heater and boom, all your energy savings are gone. And then you've got the people running the place. For them, it's all about juggling priorities. Yeah, energy bills are massive. Nobody's denying that. But look at their main concerns. They have to keep beds full. They have to protect their reputation and the quality of their care. They have to keep the regulators happy. So when you come to them with a new, expensive, maybe disruptive technology, they get nervous. It feels like a big risk.
So that's the problem, and those are the challenges. It sounds tough, but the story definitely doesn't end there. Because what we're seeing now is that going green isn't just about doing the right thing. It's actually becoming one of the smartest business moves a care home can make. And this is the key mindset shift. For too long, people have seen this as a choice: economy or ecology, the business or the planet. But that's just not true anymore. The evidence is piling up that what's good for the planet is actually what's good for the bottom line. Now, we're not talking about some futuristic fantasy tech. These solutions are real, and they're available right now. Just look at this table. Simple things like planning a more sustainable menu, that can cut food emissions by 22%. Installing a modern heat pump, you can slash electricity use by 67%. And a deep retrofit of the building, you could cut energy needs by up to 89%. These are real numbers from proven strategies.
But the business case is so much bigger than just saving on the utility bill. Think about this. It helps you hire and keep good people. Almost half of Gen Z employees say they'd quit a job if the company wasn't sustainable. Plus, families are starting to look for green credentials when choosing a care home. It makes your property more valuable and protects it from becoming an outdated, stranded asset.
And it can even open doors to special green finance loans. It's a win-win-win-win.
And this is really happening. It's not just academics talking about it. You've got groups like the Social Care Sustainability Alliance, where the actual providers, the operators, even the banks are all getting together to make this happen. This is a real movement, building from the inside out.
And here's the proof in the pudding. Look at Voyage Care. They're a huge provider in the UK. They decided to get serious about this back in 2019, and they've already managed to cut their carbon emissions by 34%. 34%. That just shows you when you actually focus on it and invest, you can get massive results right now.
Okay, all of that is great, but now we get to what I think is the most powerful argument of all. Because going green, it isn't just about saving the planet or saving money. It comes right back to the fundamental mission of social care itself, making people's lives better and healthier.
This chart here lays it out beautifully. Just follow the arrows. You start on the left with the actions: better insulation, cleaner energy, healthier food. That leads to the outcomes in the middle: lower emissions, lower costs. We've talked about that. But look where the arrow also goes, to this third crucial box on the right: health co-benefits.
So what does that actually mean? Well, when you get rid of old gas boilers, the air inside the building is literally cleaner. That can mean fewer lung infections. When you have a well-insulated building, the temperature is more stable and comfortable, which is a huge deal for protecting vulnerable residents during a heat wave or a cold spell. And those sustainable menus we talked about, they're often way more nutritious. It all adds up to a healthier, safer place for everyone, the residents and the people working there.
So, here's the bottom line, the crucial point. Sustainability isn't some extra thing you bolt on. It's not just a green initiative. It's about making the care itself better. A sustainable care home is simply a better care home. It's more comfortable, it's healthier, it's safer, period.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? As we look ahead, everyone's talking about high-tech care and new gadgets. But maybe, just maybe, the biggest leap forward in care isn't just about being higher tech. Maybe it's about being lower carbon and realizing that the best way to care for people is to also care for the world we all share.